me, and I even hit lead off a couple of times. The managers would say to me, "I'm just putting you in a spot where I like you. You don't do anything different. Just do what you do." And in like manner, I mean, I want to see Max figure out a way that Max is going to be the most productive hitter, and not have it have anything to do with where he hits in the lineup.
Let's wrap up with a Twitter question and a final thought. Again, thank you to Barry Coffey, Tony Hoaglund, your State Farm agent in Champlin, and BiteSquad.com. From Adam Jones, ask Roy why the Twins spent all their money on hitters and did not upgrade their pitching staff. They have 3 reliable starters and 2 question marks. The bullpen is a mess. Reed is awful, and Romero will be in the minors for the foreseeable future. Cannot win without consistent pitching. Your thoughts, Roy?
Well, he's right that you can't win without consistent pitching. You also can't win consistent pitching or not if you're not able to score runs. And so as you go, I think as the Twins looked at what they needed, and then even as importantly looked at what's available, they got what was available, and for prices that wouldn't blow up the payroll to a point where you were paying a few people so much that you couldn't continue to go out and get somebody that you needed at some point in time, or continue to pay the young guys that are going to be stars that they have. You can't emphasize enough, I think, that it has to be. I mean, you have to look at who's available and what was available to them at the most economical. And when I say economical, I don't mean cheap. I mean, they're spending enough money here. I think a reasonable amount of money, and they have a reasonable expectation that their pitching staff could be okay for what they're spending. So, if there were obvious starting pitchers out there that could be had for reasonable amounts of money, then or an obvious closer besides, and when I say obvious, I mean, somebody that you get at a relatively young age at a relatively reasonable price. I think they would have done any of that, but I don't think that was I don't think that was as available to them. I don't think the decision was as easy as saying, "Boy, we don't need pitching, we need hitting." That wasn't what it was. I think they recognized that they needed to swing the bats better in a few places, and they needed some pitching in a few places, and I think they did the best they could with what was available.
Yeah, and they knew Cruz, and they get him on a 1-year deal with a player with an option, which means if he has a great year this year, they get him at an affordable price next year. It was a very logical deal to do. They needed a stopgap middle infielder. They got Scope, who could be very good, who, at least as a power hitter. Those deals made sense. I wish they would have gone out and gotten a proven closer, and the bullpen will be a concern. Let's wrap things up with Roy's final thought before opening day. Thanks again to Brandon Morton, and we appreciate everybody who listens to all the shows across the TalkNorth.com podcast network. Roy, final thought.
Well, thank goodness the season's going to start, right?
Yes.
We're going to talk about what's actually going to happen. I think the Twins are going to have a nice season. I believe that we have a better chance of the on paper stuff that looks so good being the case than we do the other way. But you got to play it out, and I think that the Cleveland Indians can be had. I really do. I think they're vulnerable this year. You were still looking at a Red Sox club, a Yankee club, and a Houston Astros club that are loaded and really, really good. I think they'll be the class of the league. I really like Oakland. Matt Olson being hurt early in the year really, really hurts them, but I think all those kids take another step forward too. So, and the Angels should be a bit better. So I really think it's going to be a fun year in baseball in the American League, and I think the Twins are going to be fun as well.
Agreed. Great stuff from Roy as always. We'll talk to you next week after we've seen a few games.